Good morning, friends. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, here to share your daily aspects. Today is Monday, January 10, 2022, and the sun is in Capricorn today, as are Venus and Pluto. So the sun in Capricorn is Capricorn is our cardinal earth sign, and it really indicates, it really brings us into a mode in our outer lives, especially of grounded initiative. So knowing where you stand and moving forward, knowing what your plans and your ambitions are, and being ready to do the work and move forward with those things. And the sun puts the spotlight on those aspects of our lives that have to do with that grounded initiative. But also, like, pretty much this whole time, we've had Venus in retrograde in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto has been in Capricorn for over 20 years now. And this is a sign of deep transformation, which we have seen ourselves undergo over this course of time. And then Venus in Capricorn, it seems like Capricorn has been expressed through Venus throughout this Capricorn season. Just making us think about the work that we have to do as far as our commitments, and having our commitments under review in Venus retrograde, which we'll get around to talking about more. The moon today begins in Aries, and it moves into Taurus about this morning, close to 9 o'clock. And this represents a shift in our heart and home from like a fiery initiative, sort of driven feeling to more of a feeling of groundedness. So it's an invitation to slow down, to put your feet on the ground, sink your toes in the soil, feel your roots, feel the sort of sensual pleasure that comes with being at home and among those things that give you the most comfort. And the first quarter / beginning to be waxing gibbous phase of this moon really asks us, we've gotten started, right? Yesterday and the last couple of days, we got started implementing the plans and taking action on the plans. And this one, now we sort of just lean into a week of focus. Focus your energies, these driven, earthbound energies, toward the culmination of your goal, or one of your smaller goals that you set, so that next Monday with the full moon, we have something to appreciate and celebrate about the work that we've done. Okay, so let's take a look at the legend and go over the symbols that we have on the page today, so we have an understanding what energies we're working with, and then we'll get further into some interpretations. As ever, at the top of the page, we have the sun, and the sun represents our outer life. This is who you are when you step out the door, the person that people first get to know when they meet you, and also how you come to engage in your work, social, and civic worlds. After the sun comes the moon, and the moon represents your inner life, or this is really about your relationship with yourself. How do you feel? What are your emotions? What are your intuitions telling you? What do you know in your heart? And also how you come to engage in your domestic world. We have Jupiter on the page today. Jupiter represents growth, positive expansion, good vibrations, good fortune. Neptune down here represents our relationship to the human collective. And Venus is our planet for love and money. Or how do you relate to those people and things that you value the most? Pluto is up here representing for Capricorn, and Pluto represents transformation. So it gives us, the most extreme of our experiences, the high highs and the low lows. We witness the death of one part of our lives and our rebirth into the next, and so we're transformed. And Mars down here is about your personal sense of initiative, that fire under your butt that gets you going, the drive that gets you out of your seat and down the road. And Mercury is about your intellect. So the day-to-day thoughts, communications, plans that you make, and the running around that you do. So with all of that said, I have divided our page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon represents, of course, your inner life, and it sets the stage for your emotions and the way things go in your domestic realm at home and with your loved ones. And what it does is it's really fast moving. So it has very brief transits and it has very brief aspects that have more of an influence on that inner life. So more of an influence on how you feel, what you know, and who you relate to the most closely. And then the sun shines light on our outer life, so that's more like your work, social, and civic worlds. And I put the rest of the planets and their aspects on this side of the page because they take longer and they have more of an impact on how we behave out in the world. So we're going to begin with the moon. Moon at Central Standard Time today makes ingress into Taurus at 8:47 a.m. And like I said, Moon in Taurus is a really grounded feeling. This is a 2.5-day transit. This is the time really to slow your roll. Whatever initiative that you got started on the other day, you made a good start. Now take a little break, slow down, reassess, take a look around, tidy up, tidy up the messes you've made so far, so that you can move forward in a more grounded, functioning way. Let's say grounded, and let's say we're going to pace ourselves. I'm not going to say that, in Taurus, we just stop moving altogether. We just sort of slow our pace because we've made a good start and now we can take a deep breath, tidy up, and move forward. And then in the afternoon at 1:48, the moon makes a sextile with Jupiter. So this is a 2-hour aspect, but I encourage you to think of it as your vibe for the day. Moon sextile Jupiter is always a good time. We feel generous, we feel expansive, we can see the places where we're growing, and we feel like that's generating something good, like we're becoming our better selves. We're good company to other people. It's a great time to network a little bit or meet up with your people that you trust, your circle of trust, and enjoy one another's company. Indulge yourselves a little bit. It's all right. It's positive vibrations, babes. Good company. And sextile energy generates positive outcomes. So whatever interactions you're having during that time, they're going to come out well for us. All right. And then on the sun side of the page, right, so as far as the moon side of the page, I would say that our lunar energy is a grounded one, and also just like a positive, expansive feeling, like we have room to just sort of stretch out and let our hearts unfold and let ourselves be ourselves. Grounded and be yourself. Should be really easy. As for the sun side of the page, in the ongoing column, we have Venus retrograde through the 29th of this month. Venus retrograde has been the symbol for our commitments under review, and this applies to our romance lives, but also our finance lives, especially with the influence of Capricorn here. The Sun and Capricorn and Pluto and Venus all together, just having so much fun with that. So, this can apply to your home life, or, even if your romantic life is not necessarily in your home, it applies to your romantic life, but it also applies to the commitments you've made to work to make money, right? Because the finances are all important. Like being able to receive that flow so that you can push it back out. And we need to be seeking the balance. Like when I say our commitments are under review, we need to take a look at the commitments we've made and just make sure that we feel like we're getting the right value for our investment, right? Especially in the workplace, you put work in, you put in effort, labor, time, and are you getting paid what you need? Are you getting the benefits that you need? Are you getting the appreciation that you need? The acknowledgement you need for the work that you're doing. Are you being, is more being asked of you than is supposed to be? So these are questions that have been coming up for a little while for Venus in retrograde. And it's the time to advocate for yourself, okay? Really, this is a good time to be speaking up and just saying, hey, this is what I need, without making ultimatums, without saying, if you don't give me what I need, I'm going away. We have to, of course, try to come to some sort of compromise where we can. And if we can't compromise, then we let people know, like, I don't know how much compromise I'm going to be able to give on this because this is what I need. And then when the 29th comes around, we can look back and see if that advocating for ourselves really got us anywhere. And then if we need to bring something to an end as far as a commitment goes, then that would be the time to say, I think I'm done with this. But wait and advocate and take care of yourself right now, which part of that is advocating for yourself. Today, in the sun side of the page, in the evening at 9:28, the sun makes a sextile with Neptune. So this is sort of a sign for shared vision and understanding. In our outer life, we feel a greater connection to others, to the broader humanity. We feel connected to our communities and our neighborhoods, and maybe even, a little bit on the patriotic side, right? On the national level. So we feel connected. We know that we're not alone and that people feel the same way that we do about these things. And right now that connection is likely to generate positivity for us. So I think this is a good sign to collaborate. It's about a 1-day aspect. I'm going to say collaborate and connect. And this is about your outer life, right? So socially, or in the civic life, like where you vote or you go to protest or you show up at the courthouse to let them know how you feel. And also in your social life, it's a great time to collaborate and connect with people out in the world. Please be careful. I know Arkansas is having a record COVID surge, so it was a little startling to drive around last night and see these restaurants just packed with people dining. Please, I know it's cold outside, but collaborate safely. Don't expose yourself to something that, might drag you down and backwards from your forward initiative here. Your forward initiative. As for tomorrow, coming up down the road, tomorrow we'll see Mars run square with Neptune. So you see we've got this Sun sextile Neptune that's going to go on for about a day. It's a good setup for our collaborations. Mars square Neptune, though, is going to say, whatever initiative you found here, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to take action, or whatever actions you want to take as a result of these collaborations, as a result of your relationship to humanity. You might meet some challenges. This is a sign where we might get deceived. It's a sign where we might be too early to the party, or too assertive for people to want to deal with us or work with us. Don't let our fears get the best of us, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow when it comes up. Friday, we've got Mercury retrograde coming up, and probably a lot of us already know what that says, but it's, here's your forewarning. You might already be starting to notice some difficulties with your communication devices and just in your communications in general, or your ability to make plans and move around. I'm definitely noticing a little restriction in my ability to make plans and move around right now. So that's coming up for us on Friday. And then on Monday, next Monday on the 17th, we'll have a full moon in Cancer, which will be the culmination of all of this intention setting and plan making and getting to work and focusing our energies. Is bringing us to that full moon so that we have something fresh and whole, a goal that we have a goal that we have achieved, so that we can appreciate and celebrate it. And we will discuss these things and more as they come up. That's it for today, friends. This has been your Daily Aspects, an astrological weather forecast for January 10, 2022, Monday. And, if you have any questions or comments, I would appreciate it if you'd leave some in the comments section below. I do check and I will respond. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like my video, and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more daily aspects. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Melanie Rose.